Hi everyone! It's Thursday night here in New Jersey. That means happy Friday morning, Manila! Welcome to another episode of Getting Candid with Rochie. So, tonight is a very interesting night because we have a good topic. Our title is Women and Money. So before I introduce to you my guest, a lot of people were sending me messages because last week I didn't have the Getting Candid with Rochi live. Well, for those who are asking, here's the answer. Um, as you all know, Hurricane Ida hit New Jersey, New York, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, and most places got flooded. Well, I have to say thank God because our home was not damaged and nothing happened to us. But majority of my friends, neighbors from our town, next town, actually got damaged by the flooding. Means some of them had 6 feet of water inside their houses. Some are displaced. So I know it's a really sad scenario, and maybe I'll talk about it one in another video because it's really an eye opener. There's so many good things and bad things that happen this week, this past few days. So I'll just do another video on that. But anyway, speaking of I would say unnecessary expenses or surprise expenses, just like catastrophes, natural disasters, sometimes health issues. It's always very hard for most of us, even those who have some extra cash on hand or stash. When those things happen to us, we need immediate money, and it's one of those things that is really, I would say, an eye opener because you know money is very important in those scenarios. Even though we have insurance, home insurance, and everything, money doesn't come right away. So with that, I want to introduce to you my guest tonight. She is a mom. She's a wonderful mom. She is also a clinical lab scientist. Yes, she is a scientist who turned into a financial educator. So we're going to talk about money. If you have any questions, please use the comment section either on YouTube or Facebook so that we can answer those money questions. Okay? So with that, I want to introduce to you my beautiful guest tonight, Miss Jude Garza Bunao. Hi, Jude.
Hi, Rochie. Thanks for having me tonight. Good morning to all our viewers in Manila, in Naga City, in Bohol, our families there. And also good evening to all our co-workers, our friends here, our family here in the States. So I'm very thrilled and very honored for me to be here tonight.
Oh, thank you. See, guys. Okay, most people are thinking now. Wait up, she is a lab scientist. And then she's gonna talk about money. I know, right? Money is very important. Whether you're a fashion designer, somebody in the business, or just a regular person, a mom, a single, a student. Money is very important. So Jude will talk to us about how to handle money, how to have a good relationship with money. And if you have any questions, don't forget, use the comment section over there. We'll try to answer them. And if you are on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed, please do so right now. So, first question. Okay, Judy. Your background is in science, not in, I would say, not in math, not in money. So can you tell us more about it?
Okay, so yes, I was born and raised in Naga City, Philippines. I'm the middle child among four girls and three boys. And I studied and took Bachelor of Science in Medical Technology, or clinical lab science, as what they refer to here in the United States, at the University of Santo Tomas. It's a
Oh.
Catholic university in the Philippines. And then after that, I've been clinical lab scientist for 20 plus years now. So, in search of the American dream, uh, 20 years ago, I flew to Virginia to work as a clinical lab scientist. And I have a Philippine license for the job, and also I have a American license and a certification, an ASCP. We call it ASCP, American Society for Clinical Pathology, and an American MedTech certifications here in the United States in order for me to do the job. So right now we're based here in Troy, Michigan. I am happily married to Ed. He is my former work colleague.
Oh.
We worked together at Cardinal Santos Medical Center in Manila before we flew to Virginia in 2001. And we have three beautiful, sweet daughters, Tres Marias, ages 14, 10, and 4. So that's my background. I'm original, I studied sciences. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so here you go. Here is a very interesting question because most people will say right away, oh, she's in the clinical science. So she got, money. It's not like I would say you have like higher salary compared to like the minimum wage people, right? So what put you to be, what drove you to study finance or to be more in the financial or in money? Because I know, like, for you, I would say, people already know that most who are in the science field earn more money. So, what made you um, become a financial educator or to be interested in finance?
Okay, so you see, on in our 20 years here in the stay here in the United States, my husband and I realized that we didn't have the proper personal finance knowledge, I should say, because in the Philippines we are never taught about finance, right, in schools, in our schools. And we're kids here in America are very fortunate that, because I know some schools are offering personal finance now, because I know that, because in my daughter's school they are offering electives on personal finance, which is truly needed by people. So, well, anyway, back in 2019, this is the story. So when we had our third baby, so our family is growing, right? So we realized we wanted to fix, improve our finances, because like most of some families, we also have some financial challenges and mistakes, failures.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we lost a lot of money when we relocated to Michigan. We left our house in Virginia. We didn't have enough time to sell it, because the job was waiting for us here in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up hiring a property manager, and instead of selling it, we found a tenant to rent it. We
Okay.
rent it out. So for 3 years, we lost money as landlords. There was a lot of, the tenant has some requests, a lot of repairs, and it was so hard to manage a property remotely, like
Yeah.
Virginia and Michigan. So, well, with that, that's one of our failures. So, because, like, remember the 2014 polar vortex? I don't know if you still remember that extreme cold
Oh,
weather.
yes.
That-
Uh-huh.
Okay, so at that time we didn't renew our renters lease, so
Yeah.
our house was vacant when that polar vortex
Oh, no,
happened.
no, no.
Yeah.
No, no, no.
So, yes. So unfortunately, we had a property manager, but she was not there all the time. So what happened was, like, a piping in our kitchen burst, something like that, and then there was a big damage in our property. So of course the house insurance covered some, but we still have to shell out out of pocket expense. And at that time, Ed and I used up all our emergency fund, and we even used up our CDs, our savings. We depleted it all because
Yeah.
of that big.
Mm-hmm.
But then, so well, anyway, my sister suggested that I think you have to sell the house. You have to find a new realtor. And yes, we found after the repair and everything, after that costly repair, we found a new realtor. And in 7 days, it was sold. So it was a
That's
big
good.
sigh of relief for us. Finally, no more, responsibilities. But then it also depleted a lot of our savings. And also, I wanted to how do you call that, correct uh, our failure to that, when we were single with lesser responsibilities, we did not set aside a lot of money. Now that I'm educating families, in hindsight, I said we could have saved like 300 or 500 a month. And if we did it like 20 years ago, we could have had like, a significant amount of money now. Well,
Mm-hmm.
anyway, and then we procrastinated setting up wheels. God forbid nothing happened to us. We didn't even have a wheel set up, estate planning. So those are the reasons why I wanted to to go into finance. So this is the short. This is a story. I'm heavily involved with my kids' schools. I do a lot of volunteer at their schools and even at our Filipino church. So one day in 2019, I was enjoying and doing a volunteer job. A church friend approached me, and actually they are my kids' avid cookie, Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, Girl
They
Scout
always
cookies.
order from them, and they said your kids are always the top sellers every year. They sell like 3,000 cookies. They're very go getter. And then so that friend said, you enjoy working with people, collaborating with people. So I thought you are a good candidate because he told me about the advocacy, the literacy campaign. So he said, why don't you listen to our free presentation? Because later on, maybe you can become one of us. So I said,
Mm-hmm.
I welcome the idea because, as I mentioned that time, we were already looking into, improving our finances. Actually, I think my husband even made an appointment already with someone because we want to consult, we want to, rebuild our emergency fund, everything now that our property is sold in Virginia, something like that. So I had an open mind about the invitation. So I went to the office.
Oh,
Even
okay.
sometimes I came from my midnight shift hospital job. I went there. Ed was not on board at first. He did not
Mm-hmm.
stop me from going to the, listening to the office, but he just told me it's too time consuming. We have young kids. So he didn't join me at first. So I attended it by myself. And then I really find value to everything, to all that I was learning. I took notes. So I said, I'm going to put this all into action. So that's what I did. When I went home, I put into action. I implemented everything, and then Ed saw that I was improving our finances, our budget, because I learned a lot, the debt roll up method, a lot of things. So now, after attending all the 6 workshops, I even attended it twice, thrice. Told them I wanted to be like them. Like I told the presenter, I wanted, I think I really like what you're doing. You're, teaching families about personal finance. I wanted to be like you. So they told me all the procedure, you have to take a licensure. It is a highly regulated thing to do. Like you have to
Industry.
be licensed. You just cannot like, share information without being licensed. So that's what I do. I studied for the licensure and then I took it. And then Ed later on became on board with me.
On board.
He took the licensure also. So now Ed is also a licensed educator, financial educator like me. And then together we also took the certification for a college coaching program. It's
Yeah.
one of our platform too.
Yes.
And then so yeah, that's how our
That's
journey.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really good. Oh, we have a lot of highs from everybody here, so I
Oh,
just want to quick shout out for them. First off is Jessie Bunao. Good morning po, Tita Jude and Miss Fregolisa Mom.
oh,
So hi,
hi
Jessie.
Jess. Yeah, she's my niece. She's my niece in Manila.
Oh,
Hi Jess, thanks for joining us.
And then we have Sister Pinky. Hello, nice to see you and listen to my sister. I know she's your sister, right?
Yeah, she's my eldest sister. She's a principal back home. She's a nun. Yeah. Hi, Ats. Thanks for joining us. So,
Yes. And then there's another one. Hello from Michigan, from Ava.
that's my lovely daughter. That's my mini me.
Oh,
She knows all the concepts that I teach. They
yeah, that's good. And then another one, it's is it Lenny from
yeah.
Vancouver,
Hi,
Canada.
yeah. Hi, Tita Lenny. She's my colleague. She's from Canada. So we met each other here doing the financial literacy campaign.
And one from Virginia, from Texas.
Hi, Ate Vicky. She's also my colleague. She do financial education too. So
Okay. Are we good?
yes, we're good. So
Say
so Rochie, I remember also that day when I got my license, my life and health license. I called Fidelity. Uh,
hi.
Hi.
Okay.
So Rachi, when I got my license as a financial educator, I remember that day I called Fidelity, the retirement company that handles our 403b from our in our at our former workplace in Virginia. I told they asked me who will do the rollover because and so I told them I will do it myself because now I'm licensed and I can do it because the Fidelity personnel was asking me who will do it for you because Ed and I learned how to do the rollovers of our old 403 from our and then the Fidelity guy was really impressed that we can do it ourselves. So there's a
Okay.
lot of good points of when we became a licensed financial educator.
Yeah. Oh, that is awesome. So, before being a financial educator or just being a normal person, why is it important for women to take care of their money, at whatever age they are in? Why do you
Yes,
think so?
yeah, because in our society, it's the women are usually the usually handles the household, the day-to-day expenses of the family, and also they are the primary caregivers, because as one survey states, like usually the fathers are the breadwinners and they work from outside the house, so the kids are always with the mothers. So if the mother is equipped with personal finance knowledge, she can do better with budgeting, with saving, how to. She can work well with inflation and the rising cost of goods. And if she knows how to handle money, will the kids will she can be a good example for the kids. And when these kids are grew up learning early on the the proper financial knowledge, these kids become like sufficient, and they do better with their finances when they grow up. So the women really has a big influence, a big influence on raising the kids. And if she knows how to handle money, it has a big impact on the kids.
I know, right? And then here's another question for those who are single right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like because I remember when I was single and still young, my mom actually tried to educate me financially.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember at 21 when I had my first job, she asked me to have a life insurance that has a I would say a value. What do you call that? Like a
Cash
value,
value.
cash
Cash
value
value.
yeah, cash value after 20 years. She told me, you know what, you're single, it's just like eating out, or instead of buying a dress every month, like something,
Yeah.
just pay for it. So when I was there in the Philippines, I was paying for it, and then I got married. I'm in the US, I'm still paying it, and it's only a couple of dollars, because at 21 it
Oh,
was
yeah.
like
Time
very
was at
very,
your side. Yeah,
yeah,
time.
it was very very cheap. And then for one weird reason, that's after 20 years now, they called me and they told me that I have money, and I need
Oh,
they need to deposit the money, if I want to continue. But they said you can you can get the money right now. I mean, I would say it's not that much because of inflation and everything, but having money, like I feel like I won something, because they
yeah.
said we just need your bank account and have it deposited, which for
A
me is
pleasant
like,
surprise.
yeah, because I never really expected it, and it's like, it's nice to have money,
Yes, of
right?
course.
After 20 years. So yeah, because I didn't realize it was really fast. Because even my mom, she told me, Anak, you got a bill. You got a letter from the insurance company here. What's wrong? Haven't you paid it, or you didn't
Mm.
pay it? I said, open the mail. Open the letter, because she's the one in the Philippines. And then she said, "Oh, they said you have money. They're asking for for the
Your
bank
bank
account
account.
to deposit the money." And my mom's like, "Was that the 20 years one?" Yes, mommy, it's 20 years. 20 years has passed like nothing, right? So for those who are single right now, what are your tips? A
Okay.
few tips, so that they would learn, because it's easy to buy makeup. It's easy to eat out all the time,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what
Okay.
are some
So
of your tips?
yeah. So being single, saving money and avoiding debt is easier than when you have a family. Because if you have a family, you have to factor in the spouse and the expense of having children. So I have some, like, actually 6 tips for all the singles out there. Number one is you have to take care of your health. Health, they said health is wealth, and health is your first wealth. So when I educate families day in and day out, I always ask them, what do you think is your biggest asset? And most of them say it's their job. It's their job, it's their home. But actually, the real asset is your health.
Yeah.
Because if you are not healthy, of course, you cannot work. So if you cannot work, you don't have the income. So, and also, you have to realize that the number one expense here in America, or even I think in other countries, is medical expense. So it's
Yes.
really, really very important to live a healthy lifestyle. You have to do a lot of home cooking. If you're not a good chef, invest in a crock pot. Crock pot,
Yeah.
you can just put in something, and then you have a meal waiting for you. So it will avoid you going, takeouts, Grubhub or something. So you have to be healthy all the time. My second one is pay yourself first.
Oh,
That's what Ed and I lack. We didn't pay ourselves first. It's true we had some savings and some CDs, but we did not, really save for ourselves. Pay ourselves first. You have to pay yourself even before you pay your bills, plan a vacation, or buy anything. Paying yourself first means that you have to set aside, like 100 or 200, and you have to put that money into a solution that has a good rate of return. If you are knowledgeable enough, or if you are informed, there's a lot of products right now. I know I can recommend a product that can give you an 8 to 15% rate of return. So all you need to do is just be informed. So the third one is have a budget and stick to it. Have a budget. If you can write it down, track down all your expenses. I educated a family. They have simple jobs, but at the end of the day, when I did a personal finance strategy analysis, they end up performing better than other families, because they know how to pay themselves first. They what do you call that? They save before spending. So and
Mhm.
then of course, if you pay yourself first, you have to attack your debts. Don't incur any more debts and pay your debts. And one of the methods I always educate family is, have you heard about it, Rochie? It's called the snowball effect or the debt roll up method.
Oh
It's
yeah, it yeah. Is it the one that when you have like, for example, three credit cards,
mhm.
one has the 20%, one is like maybe 10%, one is 15. So you try to tackle the biggest interest first,
Yeah,
or
or yeah, you're correct on that. But or also simpler that, like say for example you have five credit cards, like so you attack the smallest balance. Like
balance.
yeah, the smallest balance. Say you have a Visa, a Macy's, Target, something like that. So you attack the smallest first, and then you pay more than the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can pay it off faster. So pay more than the minimum, attack it first, and whatever freed up money you have when you dissolve that first credit card. This is exactly what I did, and
Oh,
I have proof. I posted it in our community that it really worked. So after you finish off paying the smallest one, you go to the next. So it's like rolling up. So the
yeah,
freed up amount, you use it to pay until you attack the biggest one. So doing the roll up method, the families that I educate really appreciate it because they said, Jude, we were able to pay off our debts sooner because
mm-hmm.
remember you are putting more than the minimum and whatever all the freed up amounts it's getting there. So yeah, so that's my number three tips, like don't incur any more debts if you can, and then pay off your debts. And then number four is be active savers and passive spenders. You know, it's not, they said it's not how much you earn, but how much you keep. So
Mm-hmm.
even my daughter can explain this theory. It's like two families. Family A are big earners, but they are also big spenders. Sometimes you can see like a celebrity earning so much, but you'll see on the
Losing a
headline
lot.
bankrupt, like they file bankruptcy. It's because mismanagement. They they are earning so well, but they are also having a lot of yeah, expenses. While family B, they earn not as much as family A, but they know how to keep, they know how to save. So at the end of the day, the family that do better is family B, and then so you'll have a conclusion that if you know better, you do better. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my number four, and my number five is being single. You have more time in your hands. You don't have
Yeah.
kids, so why not turn your hobby like photography, baking, and if you love being with kids, why don't you turn it into a source of income? Like
Mm-hmm.
for photography, you can offer photography services in your community. For baking, you can take orders for your baked goods, and for you can post, you can be a babysitter or a dog walker. So making use of your time and always have a second stream of income, because during this
Yeah.
pandemic, remember, everybody realized the vulnerability of working for someone. You can easily
Yes.
lost your
Mm-hmm.
job, but if you have a second income, at least you have a buffer, you have a cushion. So
Yeah.
I think, and then the last one, I made notes because I might, um, hey honey, and then of course, build an emergency fund.
Oh
That's
yeah.
like, you have to have like 3 to 6 months worth. And
Ye-
then for that emergency fund, you have to, because you'll never know, you have a fender bender one day, and then or
mhm.
a cracked tooth or a broken garage door, and then a
Yeah.
broken washing
The,
machine, and or,
yeah.
or you lose your job. And also I always educate families, do not use your emergency fund if you see a buy one get one shoe sale. It's not for
Yes.
sale. It's not for satisfying your, FOMO. You know that FOMO
Yeah.
hashtag, fear of
Yes.
missing
Of
out.
missing out.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
don't use your emergency fund because you are FOMO. You fear of missing out. Don't keep up with social media. If you see your friends with new gadgets, new, the latest trendy shoes, do not choose your emergency fund for that. And lastly, I would say for single people, or even for married, or for anybody, you have to associate with people with the same mission as you are. So the more
Oh,
you can achieve your goal, if you are with positive, in a positive environment, everybody have the same mission of improving one's life, one's finances. So
you know what? That's a good thing because if you are with a group who are, I would say,
spenders,
outlet people,
yeah,
that they go to the outlets like every weekend,
yeah,
or they're like, I would say, the Target people who's always in Target
you'll
buying.
become one of them. You become
Yeah.
one of them. Because they
Mhm.
said humans are like chameleons. You become
Become.
one of whoever surrounds you. So choose positive people, choose people with good positive vibes, so it will influence you to do better in life.
Oh, so we got one here. Hi, Arnold. He's my friend, and he says, I always ask myself, do you need it or do you
Oh
want
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good point, Arnold. Yeah, yeah. I always tell my kids that. And I think they internalize it because, Rochi, I know you have 4 kids, right? So every
Yeah.
time there's a field trip or camps, my 2 older kids, they always come home with their pocket money intact. So I
Uh
always ask
huh.
them like, did you not buy any souvenirs or whatnot, with your pocket money? Because I give them a little pocket money, and then they said, "Mom, it's not a need. It's just wants." So
Once.
yeah, so as early as now, they know they save their chore money, their birthday money. They're very savvy when it comes to. They hear me all the time. They hear me all the time, and I do practice it because I don't want them to think that I do not practice what I preach people. So,
Yeah.
and one more thing, very practical story. Like this summer, my 2 kids had growth spurts, and my husband, without my knowledge, brought them to the bike store, like to the store, to
Yeah.
buy them brand new bikes. So I was not in the scenario because if it's me, I will just go to marketplace, Facebook Market,
Yes.
because bikes is one of those that you can buy secondhand. So good thing that my 2 of my daughters told my husband, Dad, we're better off doing it, like getting it from the marketplace because we have to repurpose to increase our cash flow. See, they hear me. I was
That,
so happy. We save a lot on those because I found a good deal on the bike at marketplace.
actually, that's so funny because, I got my name for my blog, which is the Frugalista Mom. My kids grew up looking for sale. Like if
Mhm.
they would
Oh, the
need
sticker, the red
clothes, the
sticker.
red sticker. Because
Yeah.
I remember because here's the thing that I told them before, because when you are young, kids don't know, they just spend and spend, they feel like a
Mhm.
one day millionaire. So what I did is, like, when they receive their Christmas money from grandpa, and this one from the lola, so they have their spending money and said, oh, we're gonna buy clothes, we're gonna buy this one, and I said, okay. So we went there December 26th. Why December 26th? Because
Sale.
it's the sale already, it's the returns of gifts anyway. So we went there, and they were young then. Probably my oldest at that time, she's probably around 10 or 11 years old. So we went to the mall, and then they said, oh, I want. So they went to those, like the fancy stores to get
Mhm.
t-shirts, sweatshirts, like
Mhm.
whatever's trendy for almost teenagers at that time. So they have the money, and I said, okay, so that's your spending money. So each of you, I think, are about to spend $100 on whatever they
Oh.
want. Yeah,
Mhm.
because they had the money. So the others, I told them to save it. But at that time, I said, okay, you got $100. Use your $100. So they went to the Justice store at that time. The
Mhm.
Justice.
Mhm.
My daughter was looking, and then she saw one sweatshirt with just a Justice at the back or something, and it's $75.
Whoa.
So she's holding 100, and she's like, I'm not buying that thing because she feels like she's a millionaire with 100, and that's one sweatshirt. And then she was looking through, and I said, look at the sale. So she looked at the sale, and she's like, some are 20% off, or this one, it's still $50. It's still $40 a t-shirt. And then she's like, Mom, I can't buy. Why? Because it's too expensive. And I said, do you want it to be designer? Like designer clothes
Yeah.
at least are branded
Mhm.
because they're preteens. And I told her, let's go to Macy's. Let's go to the clearance rack of
Mhm.
Macy's. So she said, okay, let's go there. So we went to Macy's, Ralph Lauren, whatever branded you have, but it's all in the clearance. She saw like a sweatshirt for Ralph Lauren, which tends to be really pricey, at like $15. And it's nicer than the Justice one and this one. She's like,
Mhm.
oh, I could buy this. And I said, you have to pay, make sure your money has a little extra because you have to pay tax on it.
Mhm.
So she was like looking for t-shirts, and then it's funny because the other sister was looking for a shirt, and there's like a buy one get one sale. And she's like, why don't we buy, I buy one t-shirt and you buy
Oh,
one
you get them
t-shirt.
for free.
And then, it's not free. They're going to split up the cost.
Oh, okay, yes.
So, because it's like, you get on this rack because it's the buy one get one rack. So at that time, my husband was really upset because from Justice we have to go to Macy's, and then we went back to Justice because she was comparing the prices. And my husband was like, I'm so tired. I don't want to go back there. What? And I said, you know what? That's how you teach them the value of their money. And
Mhm.
then since then, they became like very good. And then you know what?
Prudent.
Yeah, eventually now they're not even buying much designer. They go to thrift stores.
Yeah, that's the way
They
to go.
go because they said they want trendy. Like they would say, oh, the vintage clothes, they go
Mhm.
back. So they are now, oh, I want something that's one of a kind because it's in the
Mhm.
vintage, it's in the thrift store. And they're like, it's only $1 or $2 or sometimes $5 for this one. And they're so happy. And you know what? You can, for me, if you want to buy clothes, sometimes you don't need it, but it's like at least you know the value of your money for that one. And yeah, that's one of those things that I'm like, I'm glad you were looking for sale.
Mhm.
Nobody pays full price.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it's a good thing because, and now I'm teaching my daughter too because she's 18. Like, oh, here's what it is. You can have student loans, you can have this one, grants. It's one of those things that I know she's 18, but I'm like, we have to be honest about these things because
Mhm.
I think some parents, they don't want to be honest with their kids. So for me, I'm like, okay, are you gonna apply for student loan? This is how it goes. This is, you get paid your paycheck. Like I explained to her her paycheck because she has a part-time job. I explained to her that whatever, like she's paid $14 an hour, you don't get $14. These are the expenses. So sometimes she would say, I want to buy this one. And I said, how many hours do you have to work to
Mhm.
get that thing? Because it's basic math. And then she's like, you know what? I don't need it. I
Yeah.
just want it
Yeah, it's nice to
because it's
delay purchases sometimes and think about
yeah.
it.
No,
Um,
for her, she's like, that's 4 hours of work.
mhm.
$14, right? I
Mhm.
mean, was that 28? Yes, like $14 of work just for one thing. I can
Mhm.
buy something cheaper, same
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm.
But so I said, and for me, I said it's important to tell them right away. Because
Mhm.
even my 12-year-old knows how to go to a thrift store, or when there's on sale, or they have to look for something, or like if they want to go to Dunkin' Donuts, they're gonna go after 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock because there's have the they have the
Happy
promo like
hour.
at 3. Yeah, it's like a happy hour, which is cheaper.
Mhm.
So delay it a bit. So I said, because you can still have it. It's just you have to be smart. When are you gonna get it,
Mhm.
right? So here's another question for those moms right now who are probably, in a situation that is, it's crazy. Like you got all these expenses with the kids, from extracurricular to maybe tuition fee for a Catholic education, or this one. They might be thinking, is it too late for me to invest or to save up, to improve my financial situation?
Well,
What can you
no,
say to them?
yeah, definitely not, because you're never too old or never too young to learn proper financial education. So no, it's not too late. So but at 40, you are nearing retire. Like you have 20 to 25 years more to work for someone, like to have that job 9 to 5 job, or if like you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you have like 20 to 25 years to accumulate wealth from your business. So,
Mhm.
my advice for those in their 40s, like you and me, I always educate families that you have to think of retirement at that point. And I always educate them about the formula. Do you know that 10-20 formula for retirement? For
Mhm.
okay, so it's a concept that we teach family that, for example, a breadwinner, a dad, earns $100. Let's just use $100 for easy, computation.
Math.
So that, yeah, for easy math. So for if that dad earns $100 per year, the 20 in the 10-20 in the formula is you have to multiply 100,000 20 times. So
Mhm.
that will be how many 100, so that will be 1 million. Is that 1 million, like $100 times 20? That will be $2 million. That's the amount of money, the retirement money you need. That's the money that you need when you retire, because
Mhm.
usually we retire at 65, and life expectancy. I just googled the life expectancy now. 2021 is 79 years old. So if you retire at
Oh.
65 and live until 85, you need 20 years worth of whatever income you are, and then more if you have ailments or everything. And that 10 in that 10-20 retirement formula, you have to multiply your annual income by 10,000 in the event that you pass away.
Mhm.
That is so that's 500,000, like that's $100,000. You need $100,000 when you pass away for your spouse and your children to transition to a new, because they will adjust without you. So 10-20, 10 is for the amount needed in the event that you pass away,
Mhm.
and don't live until your retirement age. And the 20 is the amount you need when you retire, in order for you to sustain another 20 years of life after retirement. So the retirement is always my education for 40s. And also I also tell them that the taxes take a big chunk of our money. So you see, Benjamin Franklin once said, nothing is final here except death
It's
and taxes.
taxes. Yeah.
Because if you work, they tax you. That's called income tax, right? And then if you spend, they tax you. It's like the sales tax. And then if you save that money, they also tax you. It's called capital gain tax. And then
Yeah.
if you die,
It's,
there's still a tax called estate tax.
it's
So you have to remember that your wealth or your money will not be that the same amount of money because of the consequences of tax. So I always tell families, educate families about the taxes, and then there are also tax treatments, like where you invest your money. There are three buckets. There's a tax later, and tax advantage. So I teach them all those so that they know where to invest their money. So
yeah.
more of
Yeah.
retirement for me on
Oh,
the 40 side, because you're, and then of course you do what I what the what I did. My advices for the single. You also do those. Pay
yeah.
yourself first, but work on your retirement, especially if you haven't had accumulated, but you have to do it ASAP.
Yeah.
So
Actually, you know what? That's a good thing, to tell us about retirement, because in our small town where I live, we mostly have older people. like they're already retired, and most of them, especially, I'm here in Jersey, and all, I think your sister is also in New Jersey. New Jersey has the highest property tax
Oh yeah.
per square foot of land. So I remember most of the, older people, their problem is always with the taxes,
Yeah.
their property tax. Because even if their houses are fully paid, their taxes, like right now, I would say the rate of the taxes is, if you have like a $500 home or a $400,000 home, yeah, around, if you have a, a home between the 400,000 to 500,000, taxes are about 12,000 to fourteen thousand
Mhm.
dollars a year. And
That's
for the, yeah, so if you retired, even though your house is fully paid, no mortgage, that alone is a big amount of money, like $1,000 a month just on taxes, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
And
same. Yeah, same with families that tell when I educate them, they tell me, "Well, we have a lot of 403 already saved up," but I tell them, "Don't you realize there's still a tax consequence? If they have 500,000 worth of retirement money in their 401 or 403, they will still be subjected to tax." So I always educate them that you will not get that full 500,000 in your retirement account because you will still be subjected to a 25, depending on your tax bracket, they will not get it. So you have to realize that, oh, okay. So most of them, they don't know that because, some of them, we don't read our financial statements like some. They just bury it in their closet. They don't know the terms. You sign up for something, you just copy your coworker, like, how much percent do we, or something like that. So ignorant, because when I attended those workshop, I would say, I told my husband, we were so ignorant of personal finance. So now we are very passionate about teaching families about it, because if you know better, you will really do better. So yeah.
yeah, so actually, here's we have one here. I think it says from Lorraine 20, multiply by 10 your annual income for protection need,
Mhm.
multiply by 20 your annual income for your
For your
retirement need.
retirement need.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
that's correct. Thank you, Ate Lorlene. Yes.
yeah.
So
So yeah, that is good because like when you mentioned that we never look, I think women, it's one of our weaknesses. We don't really look at the fine print because, like, with my kids, I notice my kids, my two boys who are 12 and 14 right now, they are more into the fine print. They are looking, they follow Dogecoin, they follow Bitcoin on, like all those little things on investment. While my two daughters, they are hard workers. They would earn money, they would spend it, but it's mostly that concept of not looking at the finer print. Or sometimes they would say, "Mom, can you just explain this to me?" Unlike my boys, they're the ones explaining to me. So I think for us women, we have to learn how to look at those details. And do you have any tips, or where can we get more information about finances? Because I know most people are scared to ask what they
mhm.
call the financial advisors, because some of them got
Intimidating. They're
they could be
intimidated.
intimidating, or and most of us don't want to really talk about money. We don't want to share how much we earn,
We
or
avoid the topic.
how much debt we have. It's what we always, maybe it's also part of the culture that we are in, that we don't readily talk about money. So where can we get information that,
Yeah.
about those financial details, that maybe it's not too complicated?
Yeah, so it's really like there's a lot of sources, like one of which is I will my organization World System Builder. We Our main focus is educating families. So I really like the system because as an educator, I don't get compensated. I do it for free. I educate families for free. There's no compensation, but Once you educate a family, most of the time, even like, not instant, but most of the time, they will realize, they will be empowered, and they become informed consumer, and they usually come back to me, thank me, and then they ask for my assistance or help with solutions. So that's where as I've mentioned, this is a second stream of income for me, because when I educated the family and then they asked for my help with solutions, and I help them with certain solutions that fit their needs, I get compensation from from the company, whatever
Mhm.
solutions they want. We are for our organization is affiliated with 188 companies, and we
Mhm.
offer 320 products, ranging from annuities, from long-term care, college coaching program, executive bonuses, will and estate. We have a diverse platform that we can help families. Cash value life insurance with living benefits, term riders. So that's it. And also, when I educate those families and they find value, they refer me to their family and friends. So, well, anyway, being an educator, I have tools to educate families. We have this book called Saving Your Future book.
Oh.
It's also sold in Amazon. It's a $30 book in Amazon. But as a member of this, affiliated member of this organization, World System Builder, we have 76,800 members here in the United States and Canada. We have a bookstore, and we can get this in a very discounted price. So I
Mhm.
usually, since I get it in a very discounted price, and it uses common language for common people.
Yeah.
It's like a friend talking to a friend. That's how easy, like, very under, even my 12-year-old, my 14-year-old and 10-year-old read this. It's very easy. My coworkers appreciate me for sharing it to them. They pass it around, pass it
Yeah.
around. It's a really simple, easy to understand, very it's nothing much details, but the fundamentals of personal finance, and it really helps me. So yes, I give it away as like a complimentary, like a gift, a thank you gift for families, for allowing me to educate them. And then also we have a workbook. These are
Okay.
like, the six workshops that we educate people. This is a workbook, and then we have. Can I screen share? I have like. Can I screen share? I'll just show them the six workshop, the six life changing game changer workshop that truly.
Okay.
I
Let's
don't know if I
see.
can.
Yeah. You can click the share. Oh, maybe you can click the share.
Okay.
Is it there?
Yeah, I saw it. Screen share, and then
It might come out. Let's see. Is it here? Oops. Oh, no. I think we didn't get it. So maybe what I'm
so
gonna do,
maybe.
what
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna do is I'm gonna have because see, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. Jude and I have decided to have a giveaway for the book. So head over to thefrugalistamom.com, my blog, and I'm going to put the link there too. So by next week, we will be hosting a giveaway for those books for you
Mhm.
to read
Yeah.
and enjoy. And you will have us in, like the little things that we talked about, it will be also in a blog post. So
Mhm.
watch out for that, guys. I'm sure you'll be excited. And is it available in PDF as well? Or
Yeah, it is available in PDF, but most of the time, I order like boxes and boxes of this, and because it's really a very practical book. It's like a coffee table book that everyone can,
just read?
read. Yeah, very, very educational, and very like common language, very easy to understand. So
Yeah.
yeah, so just connect. I'll just connect with you, and I'm willing to give away like a dozen of this.
Wow. So there you go, a dozen copies of the book. So head over to the blog by next week. if you are not yet a subscriber, make sure to subscribe because I'm going to give you details on when the that giveaway will come out. Okay, so that is
Yeah,
very
so Rochie,
interesting.
let me mention the 6 workshops that we
Okay.
do that we educate families with. It's like workshop number one is savings and wealth. This is where we teach families about the wealth formula. That wealth is a combination of your money minus inflation, and then minus taxes. And then second workshop is cash flow and debt management. Really very helpful. This is where I was able to pay off our credit cards. Proper protection. This is, when you build when you build a house, you start from the ground up, right? So if you build wealth, you also have to protect your health and your loved ones. So proper protection, then health and wealth, the importance of having a good health, and then asset accumulation strategies and long-term goals. So those are the six. We offer it Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
So different time zones. And then that's Monday to Friday, and it's a national webinar. So it's
Oh.
not. And then, but then I have families that have the job 9 to 5 job, so they can't attend it. So I can do a one-on-one with the families or even individuals about this workshop. The
Mhm.
beauty of this opportunity is I can do it. I call it my magic carpet. My laptop is my magic carpet. 1 hour I'm in New York, then next hour I can be in Texas, Canada, or no, Texas, New Jersey, something like that. So very just connect with me via email, my
Mhm.
Instagram, Facebook, if you want to listen to our complimentary
Yeah.
workshops on
Yeah,
personal.
actually, maybe we'll do one workshop for those who are interested. So, if you are
Mhm.
interested on that workshop, maybe uh, Jude and I will coordinate and have one big workshop for you guys.
Yes. Mhm.
That we will do that all online, maybe via Zoom. So, if you are interested in a workshop, please let me know in the comment section or just send me a message that stating that you are interested in a workshop, and we'll get you connected with
Yeah.
Jude and on those 6 workshops. Now, I want to
Yes, it's
attend the
workshop.
workshop.
And don't worry if you have a different time zone, because this is the beauty of this opportunity. I'm in Michigan, I have the Eastern time, right? My kids
Yeah.
are all in bed at 9 p.m. So at 9 p.m., I could be educating a family in Hawaii, which is only 3 p.m. in Hawaii. And also in California, only 6 p.m. So you do a lot of, you can do a lot here. It's like you're an Uber driver. There's no quota of number of families you educate. Well, if they want to become like me, just connect with you or me, and I can show them the way how to become a licensed financial educator and be part of our organization. It really is a very rewarding, especially if families thank you for making a difference in their lives. So just connect with us how to become like a licensed financial
Destination.
educator like me.
Yes. So before we end, we just have to shout out to our other friends here. Potato Sons from San Francisco. Hello.
Hello.
And then we also have uh where is it? Okay. Buena Flor, Sichon, is that it? Great
Yeah.
tips on women and money management. Yes, so maybe we'll do more of these because I know women and money go together, right? Goes
Mhm.
together.
Yeah.
And then we have hi watching from Camsource. So good
Yeah.
morning
Okay. Good morning,
from
Cla. That's my baby
Camsource.
sister. That's my
Oh,
little
hi.
sister. Yeah.
Mm.
Hi,
So
Cla. Thanks
thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Now, for those who have questions about specific topics, like how would you manage your savings, how to save, how to pay off your credit cards, I think Jude has so many information about it. So let me know which topic is very close to your heart, and we will try to
Mhm.
coordinate and answer all those questions for you via another show or via another workshop for you guys.
Yeah.
So let
Mhm.
us know what
Even
topics
on
do you
weekends,
like.
very flexible. Sunday, or even on weekdays after work, or just reach out, and we'll do the workshop. It really changed
Wow.
my life. It really
Mm-hmm.
changed my life. That's my best story to all my the families say, "Ajay, it really changed our lives for the better." So I'm becoming emotional. It really changed my life. It was like these workshops were really game changer and like really life changing for us. That's why I'm very passionate about it. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I know for us, the number one problem is always, they say, money.
mhm.
But there, many always say there's so much source of money, and there's also ways to use the money. So it's not really the money that's the problem. It's how we
How you
manage the
manage
money. The money
your
that becomes a
your
problem.
mindset, and your
Yeah, the
mindset.
mindset. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it is not the money, because the money, I would say money is constant. If it's $1, it's $1. It's $2, so
Hmm.
it's that. It is how we manage the $1, the $10 that makes a
Hmm.
difference, right? So with that, I just want to thank you, Jude, for joining us tonight, for sharing your stories, for sharing your expertise to our viewers. And for those who watched us tonight and also for the replay, please let us know how we can help you. So type in your questions, type in the topics that you're interested, and we're more than happy to help you guys with those questions. So again, thank you guys for joining us, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Getting Candid with Rochie. We'll talk about real life, real people, and real stories. So good night, US, and good morning, Manila. Bye.